Now, Sydney's Festival of Lights, Music and Ideas kicks off tonight with a spectacular light display on the Harbour foreshore.
A 9-metre tall chandelier is just one of the illuminations to go on public view for the next fortnight. Reporter Claire Aird has been granted a sneak peek at what we can expect from the Vivid Festival, and she joins us now from Circular Quay. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Karina. You're very right to say the biggest festival of lights, music and ideas in the Southern Hemisphere kicks off tonight at 6 p.m. Now that'll go off with a very bright installation by a German group called Urban Screen. They will light up the sails of the Sydney Opera House. Now, while that is secretly and tightly under wraps, we have been given access to some of the lights which have been on display, which will be on display, part of 50 different installations by Australian and international artists. One of those, as you mentioned, is this amazing chandelier which you can see behind me. Now, this chandelier was originally commissioned for the opera La Traviata, which was on earlier this year at the Domain. It's been recommissioned for the Vivid Festival and sits beautifully in front of the Opera House, which at the moment quite dark, but by tonight it'll be bright with lights. Now, Vivid is not just about the lights, it's also about ideas, and the festival director of the Vivid Ideas joins me now, Jess Scully. Jess, tell me about some of the highlights of this year's event.
Well, this year for Vivid Ideas, we're bringing some of the world's leaders in creative industries, design, fashion, media and technology to Sydney to share their stories, but also to give advice to Australian entrepreneurs and creatives who hope to achieve the same level of success.
Now, Jess, you don't normally think about artistic and the economy in the same sentence, but you're really trying to encourage that at Vivid Ideas this year.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the challenges people who have ideas often have is lacking the business skill or the networks that they need in order to turn their ideas into products, services or events. So we have a whole range of talks. Most of them are actually free, which are on at the MCA on level 6 every night from 6 p.m. So anyone can come on up, learn how to access funding, build their own networks, get access to space and hopefully turn those ideas into businesses.
Now, The Guardian, the newspaper in the UK, has actually ranked this as one of the top 10 ideas festivals in the world. What are some of your highlights?
Well, one of my big highlights is that we have the CEO of Etsy, which is a huge online business. Basically, they have 14 million members in 150 countries around the world, and they're helping individual creatives sell their products to a huge new audience. So we have the CEO joining us to tell that story. We've also got the CEO of Vice Media, which is a huge youth media brand. They've got 30 million subscribers around the world. And we've also got a really fun UK fashion designer named Henry Holland, who's joining us to tell us the story of how he's built his design business in the past 5 years.
Now, Jess, another thing that you've been working on for many years in your career, and you've been part of Vivid for the past 4 years, is actually thinking past Australia's mining boom, thinking creatively and how we connect the art world with the economy. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm working on a book at the moment called Strategies for Creative Economies. We are going through a boom time in Australia at the moment. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but we are. And the question is, are we investing that bounty into the economy of the future, the information economy, which will really demand more skills in the creative and digital sectors than we currently have? So Strategies for the Creative Economy is basically about, do we have the infrastructure? Do we have the educational support that we need? Are we building the right kinds of partnerships between governments and industry in order to really prepare for that new economy?
Now, Jess Scully will be hosting many of the 100 ideas events that are part of this festival. As I mentioned earlier, the light part of it kicks off tonight. There'll be 18 days and about 9.3 million viewers across the world are expected to see in some form this spectacular display, which is down at Sydney Harbour.
Spectacular indeed. Claire Aird there at Circular Quay.